21% of the vote counted, and Biden there has the early lead, but as I say, only a fifth of the vote counted. Let's get back to our panel. Stephen Conroy, Michael Kroger and Ashley Gillen. Michael, from what you heard there in terms of Florida, what you're seeing, these numbers coming in, should Trump be feeling optimistic there?
A bit more optimistic about Florida. And look, he has to win Florida to win the election, Tom, 29 votes. But what we're seeing now is that the Trump campaign over the last 4 years have worked very effectively on the Latino vote. And what we mean by that is Cuban exiles, Venezuelan exiles. I was in Cuba in January, and very quietly the taxi drivers will tell you how much they like Donald Trump and how much they hate the communist government in Cuba. Well, if you think they think that, what about all the exiles that are actually living in Florida? They love what Trump's done because he's had a boycott on Cuba. He's also had a boycott because of their attitude to Venezuela. He recognised the opposition leader in Venezuela. That has endeared him to all of those sort of Latino exiles in Florida. Trump's vote amongst that group was, I think, 54% in 2016. So he's worked very effectively on that group, and what we're seeing early on is probably a significant rise in his support amongst that group. And the early figures tell you that he will hold Florida, but of course he needed to. So that'll be a major blow to the Biden campaign if the president can hold there.
Yeah, that Hispanic vote, the Cuban vote, particularly Ashley Gillen, as Tom Connell touched on with his analysis, would be a big concern right now for Biden. Doesn't need it necessarily. It's not crucial to his path to the White House, but still a setback early in these numbers.
Well, I think that's a really crucial point, isn't it, Kieran? Because, yes, as much as there's been a lot made of the fact that Trump needs Florida, Biden doesn't desperately need Florida. He still has another path to victory if he does lose Florida. I think the only thing we can say for certain at this point is that the turnout we're seeing is nothing short of extraordinary. I mean, when you look at the early vote as a percentage of the total turnout in 2016, it's more than 100% in several states, including states like Texas, the all-important Texas. Overall, we've already seen more than 24 million Americans who didn't vote in the last election vote this time around. Around 8 million of those are people who have never voted in their entire lifetime. So overall, the predictions are now that we're looking at a record of perhaps 150 to 160 million votes being cast by the end of voting today. So as much as there's been a lot of talk about democracy being under threat in terms of that high turnout, that's brilliant for democracy in America today.